Hey, Mossiprose here, doing another video for the Tri-North Studios. I got a game called Descent Vector, which is actually absolutely fantastic, but hear me out first because a lot of people try to leave as soon as I say Endless Runner. This is an Endless Runner. There's a few levels in it that are absolutely fantastic. The Endless mode is probably one of my favorite Endless modes that I've ever played, so if you aren't into Endless Runners, you should still try this game. I believe it's going to go on sale for $12.99 on Steam, but I think there's a launch sale for about $10, so definitely it's a worthwhile little purchase. Let's check out this game. I'll show you the cool parts. I'll show you the even cooler parts. Let's take a look. Descent Vector. All right, let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Descent Vector, Space Runner. It's a piloting space pod, and you basically go high speed straight through a whole pile of space stations, asteroids, debris, all in third person. So you're basically just navigating through the obstacles, trying to get your way to the end. There's 4 missions currently with 4 different planets. You start out the mission exactly the same. You have your pod, you have a choice of colors as you unlock things over time, and you basically run through these levels and try to avoid things. And normally, that's where I'd leave it, but I can't. Because what really kind of clinches this game for me is the controls. I used the controller and everything felt like just so comfortable. There's no other way I could really describe it. Like everything just kind of moves exactly the way you kind of feel it should. So when you're navigating through the obstacles and things, it just feels right. So right off the bat, I want to recommend using a controller. I think it's an absolutely fantastic way to go. And again, it's the controls that are really making this game for me. It just feels so responsive. So I want to stress the controls because it's that good. But basically, you're running through these obstacles. Everything appears to be procedurally generated, so no 2 levels are exactly the same. When you fail, it'll change all over for you. The parts I really like, the navigating through the circular cylinders there that we just ran through, those are okay, but the real ones are those walls of space parts. Hey, I did it. Moving on to the next level, though, we'll take a look. As you can see, it's a different planet, but the concept is exactly the same, so you feel right at home no matter what level you're in. See these cylinders here? They're cool, but these walls here, they're what get you every single time. And I'm sure I have some footage later of some failures of mine, because there is an endless mode. I have to talk about that as well. The endless mode is absolutely amazing. Oh, apparently I crashed there. But the endless mode is really where I spend most of my time. What happens there is again, there's no ending, but the speeds up over time. So it's all about trying to get as far as you can, but then you're dropping faster and faster and faster and faster, and it just totally just works for me. I'm loving it. But the other one is there is a full soundtrack. I do enjoy the sound. For endless mode, I turn it off just because I get all into the zone and I feel like, I'm just really into it. But I like the variety of obstacles. I love seeing those asteroids along the outside. The planets look fantastic, so graphically this is nice. I do want to spend a little time talking about my setup. Currently I'm running the game at 4K at 120 FPS. Originally, I had a couple issues on the last map where it was dropping. I talked to the dev, he patched it right up, and now I get a smooth, consistent 4K at 120 FPS. Now, I know not everyone has the computer I do. I am running a 3080 and a Ryzen 7, but it'll run across a variety of hardware. It is not the most demanding game in the world, but the fact that I can hit 4K at 120 means it is a seamless and very flawless experience for me, and I absolutely love it. I'm a sucker for 4K at 120. So just something to put out there. It's pretty and it runs really well. I made it. We made it. Just gonna finish my landing here and we'll switch on over. We'll do some of that endless mode to show off there. And by show off, I mean, I'm gonna fail. That's just how this works. But it's a cool fail, so you can't complain too much. But difference between endless mode is, there is no ending. That's really the difference. And on the missions themselves, the time or the speed doesn't speed up. But on the endless mode, that is kind of the exact reason and the way it works. But I love as time picks up and it gets a little more chaotic, you start running through these little holes through these walls, and it just gets absolutely crazy. Kind of reminds me of that, like a space version of that weird TV show they had for a while, Hole in the Wall. That basically is what I feel like I'm doing here. The benefit there is I don't have to change my shape. I'm still a space pod. But it's pretty cool. A couple things I do want to mention just on the downsides. I do have to mention some downsides. This is a review after all, so I am going to give this a wonderful 8 out of 10 just for the record. But the downsides, let's talk about it. So right off the bat, after playing a little while, I was hoping for a little more variety in objects throughout the different levels. I noticed that that isn't the case. It's the same stuff every time. It's not a deal breaker because the things that are here and the obstacles to avoid are absolutely, you know, they're great. And with the responsive controls, it feels really nice. But at the same time, you want to, you know, it's one of those things you want to, you know, kind of think about. You'd be like, well, if you can have every level and every kind of thing looked a little differently, different textures, different objects, it'd definitely add a little more variety to the game. I understand being a small-time developer and stuff like that, you can't always do those sort of things, so I'm not going to knock it too hard for that, but, and, you know, I want to see some variety, so write that one down for Descent Vector 2, and we'll go from there. Maybe some DLC, huh? Let's just do, I'm just going to show off a final endless run, share my final thoughts here. What I feel most about this game is I just love the variety of what's there. I love doing the endless modes. I love competing against times as well. Would love to see some leaderboard support in there at some point. But I'm putting this out there. If anyone wants to try this game, you pick this up. If you want to challenge some scores on some endless modes, send me your numbers, send me your screenshots, and I will do my best to beat them. If you are down with an endless runner and you want to share, I will compete with you. I will share with you. You can share videos with me. Let me know. If you pick up this game, send me your videos, send me your screenshots. I will do my best to beat what I can. My example isn't perfect. Obviously, I'm not amazing at this, but I will keep trying until I beat your score. I am just that competitive. For anyone else that's out there, I hope you all have a great time. Hope you enjoyed this video. 8 out of 10. Try this game. $12.99 US, $9.99 on launch. Add it to your wish list. Get it. That's all I can say. Have a great day. Thanks. If you have any questions or anything, send me an email. Contact us, trinorstudios.com. And again, send me your scores. All right. Later.